All right. So welcome to another day of care. So what I'm gonna do first, I'm gonna do my tea. I usually will make this pitcher and I'll have tea for the whole week. But I have to preserve the water. I mean, I don't really like using tap water. I could just boil the water. I think I'm gonna just do that. I think I'm gonna just boil the water. I just don't trust the faucet water, but at the same time, I mean, I'm just gonna boil it. I'm not. Ah, because I feel torn, right? I feel torn because I feel like I should be grateful. I should be grateful. Even though the tap water is not my preference, I should be grateful. If I could boil the water and make it a little cleaner, then what is the difference between? I mean, there's a difference between boiled water, boiled tap water, and spring water. But I'm not the only one in the house. You know, and I drink more tea than I do water, and there are other people that drink more water. So I don't want to be inconsiderate. I'm just gonna go ahead and do this. I'm just gonna go ahead and boil it. Last week, I did what I wanted to do, and I used as much water. So this time, I'm just gonna. It's crazy. It's crazy. I know. I know. Yes, babe. I got those fresh braids, babe. Yeah. Because I really do want to make another picture for the week. Okay, so last week my choice of tea was green tea. I just kept it simple because sometimes taking in too many herbs, can make you a little constipated. You know what I mean? So herbs are very powerful. So you really don't need that much. I believe that if an individual I mean, they don't consume any herbs, they don't do tea, they don't take care of themselves at all. I feel like they need a little power punch with the tea, honey, with the herb. All right, so I'm just gonna put that in there. I'm gonna put a little bit more water in there. I hope nobody biting on that floor. I hope nobody's biting on that floor. His ass biting on the floor. I'm gonna give him a Brussels sprout. Okay, so that's my rabbit. So rabbits have they deal with a lot of anxiety and they deal with being bored too. So, my rabbit is old. So, I mean, he's pretty bored. During his transition from the time to where he was sick, or he just kind of noticed that he was getting older, he kind of started dealing with a little anxiety. But, I mean, he's outgrown that, so it doesn't really matter. But, so I chose green tea last week for my tea just to help alkaline my body a little more. Just more so, just kind of clear things out. Green tea is so good for many things. So good for your hair. It's good for your teeth. It's good for your skin. Okay, so I have eczema, so sometimes I have like little breakouts. Sometimes I get like little bumps and shit. I don't know where the fuck they come from. Okay, but I mean, yeah, like whatever. So this week I'm going to do something a little fun and a little more feminine. I'm going to cater more to my feminine essence. This week I'm going to be working on a lot of my spiritual health, okay? My spiritual hygiene, we should say. Okay. So you have to boost those estrogen levels. Tap in. Okay. So I'm going to show you the herbs. Okay. So this tea is going to be kind of sweet. Okay. I work with a lot of feminine herbs, but what I've noticed is, when I build up too much momentum, with my femininity, it's, the sexual energy is just through the roof. It's like, I can't go outside. I can't even go outside, you know, because I just attract so many men to me, you know what I'm saying? And it's overwhelming. It's not the type of attention that I want. It's never the type of men that I want. I always attract men with mommy issues. I always attract men who are, you know, like just, you know, they have a lot of, it's like the opposite, okay? So where I'm booming in feminine energy, I attract a lot of men who are damaged within their femininity. So, you know, people are attracted to the light, but when they get close, it irritates their demons. So, yeah, in their mind, they think that they have this attraction to me, but it's kind of like the more they get to know me, the more it's like I conflict them by, you know, shining the light on their demons, their unhealed parts. Okay? And that's another thing, because people's demons love to play. They love to play with me. You know, some people, it's like some people, because the thing is that people are neglecting their demons. You know, you have them, you live with them, you have to embrace them. That's a part of who you are. You see, I play very well with my dark side. Very well. And I play very well with other people's dark side too. So I noticed that some people, it's kind of like their demons control them, you know, because they resent that they're being neglected. That part of themselves, that unhealed part of themselves is being neglected. And a lot of the times people's demons will come to me. You know, what I used to do is I used to welcome other people's demons. I used to get them in line and send them back, you know, but that was just way too much. That was way too much, you know. It was, you know, it was good for shadow work, practice, you know, practice shadow work and all that type of stuff when it comes to doing and healing other people. But I mean, you talk about obsession, okay? I'm talking about they was just trying to latch all over me, and I'm just like, oh my God, no. Boundaries, you know. So if I incorporate an individual, if your demons don't play well with mine, then we're not going to play. You understand what I'm saying? So anyway, because when it comes to feminine energy, like, child, I will boost it. You understand what I'm saying? I will boost it. And it's just, it's not healthy. It's not safe, you know, for feminine energy to be so open. You understand what I'm saying? To be so noticeable. Okay? So, I mean, if I was married, it would probably be different because I would be in a union to where I am protected. Okay? But, I mean, it's just me. Okay? I mean, I live with my son's father, but we're not in a union. We're more so in a contract. Okay? In that contract, he's not a protector. Okay? I'm actually the protector. But anyway, I'm tired of protecting. I'm tired. You know, protection has been the biggest thing for me to learn because, you know, it's been the most important thing to me because as a child, you know, I kind of had, you know, a rough childhood. You know, I didn't have anybody protecting me. You know, my mother thought that she was, but I'm gonna tell you, you know, you have to be careful because, you know, sometimes the people who are there to protect you, they will protect you, isolate you so they can abuse you. Okay? So, I spent a lot of time, you know, being attracted to men, you know, who are like rough, you know, like the gangsters, the killers, and all that type of stuff because, I mean, I felt protected, you know. But, I mean, sometimes they're idiots, and I can't do it, you know. It's just like, I'm only with you because I think that you're dangerous and you're going to protect me, but at the same time, I mean, you're an asshole, and you're not very smart, you know, like, protection is not just physical, but it's mental too, emotional and spiritual. You know, so I mean, after a while, and financial, right? But after a while, you know, it was made clear to me that what I desire the most, what I feel as though I'm missing and have always been missing, is what I needed to embody for myself. You know, so I've done that. Okay? I feel like I can kick it up a little more, but at the same time, I don't want too much of that power. Like, I know myself very well. You know, if I know that I could be out here fucking men up, you know, I probably would be a bully. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want too much. You know, I got a lot of weapons. You know, I got a lot of weapons. I got tasers, I got guns, I got knives, I got razors, I got box cutters. You know, I got that, but you know, I've had to learn how to protect my son on many different levels. I've had to learn how to protect my household on many different levels. So, you know, I mean, but at this point in time though, I admit I'm tired. My thing is, I don't want nobody else to do it for me. I already know how to do it, you know, but it would be nice to have a partner, you know, who's just as equipped as me, you know, because when you're the only one, it's a lot of work, it's a lot of stress, and then you're dealing with individuals who don't understand, who don't get it, you know what I mean? They're not as strong as you, So they're, you know, it's always the ones who are less that are causing the most issues, that are doing the most complaining. You understand what I'm saying? So, but anyway, so this is also a way, this is also something in which I learned how to protect myself. Okay, my feminine energy, but still being able to take care of my spiritual hygiene. Okay, so the number one herb. Now the thing is that the herbs have spiritual properties too. Okay, a lot of people don't know about that. All right, so this is why I say, you know, that's why when it comes to rituals, when it comes to witchcraft and all this type of stuff, people use the herbs. Okay, so I'm using butterfly tea. Butterfly tea, that's probably the most feminine, and it's probably the most potent one. So I am growing my hair. That that herb is for hair, skin, and tea. I mean hair, skin, and nails. Okay, so it helps me with my skin. Okay, it's, you know, I don't know if you can see it, but it's kind of breaking out a little bit here. Okay, so the thing is that I have topical cream, but I don't like to depend on the chemicals all the time. You know, I want to work it from the inside out. Okay, so, oh shit, my water boiling. I'm sitting here running my mouth. But how am I going to do this anyway? Because I haven't made any bags or anything. I'm just going to put the herbs in there. Let's just put the herbs in there. Okay, so my first herb I'm going to do is butterfly tea. Butterfly tea is also used as an aphrodisiac. Okay, it's one of the most sexually charged herbs, you know, for women. All right, so I'm going in with my miracle leaf, which is moringa. Moringa is awesome. Not too much of that though. It's called a herb. It's called a miracle plant for a reason. Okay, we're going to do eucalyptus. Eucalyptus is going to invoke and promote health, just more health in general. Okay, so this is kind of me going in with my rituals. Okay, now I'm going to use rose and hibiscus just a little bit, because I mean that rose herb, baby, you know, that's like the rosebud, you know, that's very feminine too, very feminine too, so you have to be careful. So now we're going to kind of break it up with St. John's Wort. St. John's Wort is going to represent clarity. It's going to represent truth. Okay, we need some balance up in here. We need some masculinity, just a little bit. Okay, we're going to keep it smart. We're going to keep it wise. Okay, this also helps with decision as well. As you can see, dealing with the warfare of things, it's, you know, I'm kind of indecisive. Okay, but at the same time, I am going through less resistance when it comes to my ego. Okay, now for transformation, okay, so you know what, my spirit guides actually, because I just randomly picked this up. I didn't have any plans to put this in my tea, but now that I'm reading it, I kind of see. Okay, so it's Venus in water. So my Venus is in air. Okay, but that is okay. It says releasing enchantments, wisdom, house blessings, and business blessings. Need some of those. Protection against evil, negativity, attackers, temptation to infidelity, used in rites of death and dying to protect the spirit during transport to the other world. So I kind of have a feeling I'm going to be doing some, the Reaper is calling. But that has, okay, so it's making sense to me now, because just like I said, you know, I'm going through transforming my ego as well. So just going to put a little bit in there. So this is elderberry. Okay, do I have anything else? I have ginger. I'm going to add a little turmeric for inflammation. I mean, the butterfly tea works good for that, but so I don't have any ginger root, but I thought I had, ground ginger. Oh, guess not. Alright, so I mean, whatever. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is just let that boil. I'm going to put a little cinnamon stick. So cinnamon stick is also masculine. So we use the masculine herb for the mental. We're going to use the masculine herb for action and energy. Okay? You know, cinnamon is strong, so I like to break it up. Even this little piece is kind of going to be a little too much, but that's okay. So, I mean, that is going to be my tea for the week. So, that's going to kind of be what I'm going to, the energy in which I'm going to be working with. So I'm going to be more in my feminine energy, but I'm going to be using my masculinity to be able to protect me mentally and energetically through my actions, just keeping my energy, like, um, I'm going to say focus, because that's what I want. Just focus, just paying attention to what I'm doing, why I'm doing it. A lot of the times, based on how you feel, it will dictate your actions. So that's why, I want, a healthy masculine herb to help balance and ground me. If Because these feminine herbs, they're way sexual. They're way sexual. I have another one here too. I'm trying to tell you, like, you will embody like total sexual energy. So what I'm going to add a little bit of is saffron. Saffron, because saffron comes from a flower. Okay, so it's a very exotic herb. And I've also noticed this is actually sexual healing. Okay, so if an individual is sexually suppressed, okay, then I mean this herb kind of works wonders too. Now when it comes to the body, it's really good for the intestine. Okay, so I mean my grandmother, she died, well, when she passed on, she had mucus in her intestine. She had testicleitis, I think that's what it's called, and something like that. But, I said, you know what, if she was to let me, because grandma, she wanted what she wanted. She wanted to eat what she wanted. She wasn't really worried about, like being healthy. It was more so of being happy at that point in time. And, food makes you happy. So she preferred to eat foods that make her happy. But I guarantee if I was able to make her some teas, that I would have been able to help heal her body a little bit more. But I mean, she didn't want it. She don't like tea. So, it is what it is. But in order to honor her, there are certain things. She had some chitlins. She had some bad chitlins. I think that's what did it. Okay, so no chitlins. I mean, I'm not really a chitlin person, but I have had chitlins, with hot sauce, and I didn't see it. It didn't, I didn't see it as anything bad. I don't think it tastes bad, but it's not, I think I've had chitlins twice in my life, so, no chitlins, and catering more to my gut health. My grandma, she was strong. Like her mind was still there. Like her body was breaking down, but her mind was still there. And I'm going to tell you, it was more so of her faith. It was her faith in her independence. It just kept her holding on. So I'm just like, man, okay. So, in honor of her, there are certain things that I won't do, will and won't do. I'm picking up a line. Line. Um, Sometimes I can channel a lot of my ancestors in the kitchen. It's crazy because a lot of stuff that I create, what ends up happening is that I'll hear the instructions, I'll hear the directions, right? A lot of my teas, I just put them together, okay? And when I look back over the ingredients and I look up the herb, I see that the herb is beneficial to the tea. Like if I make a joint tea, the herbs and what the herbs do for the joints, I'm just like, damn, I didn't know that. But during the time, I was just listening to my guides. So after I made the tea, like I said, I would go back and research that herb or do, more investigating on that herb. So, that was a way to where my spirit guides, opened my eyes up to trust them. Because I had no idea. I was making all of these teas, and I'm just like, I don't even know if these herbs are going to help this area of the body. But when I went back and checked my records, my sources, it lined up to it. So I said, okay. So, anytime that I get into my herbs, I'm always listening to my guides. Okay, so this is different because, I mean, I usually don't put, I used to put lemon, but the thing is that you can't leave the lemon in that jar the whole week, which is really annoying. So I'm just gonna squirt some of this lime. I can't wait to be enlightened to figure out why the lime, because I mean I have no idea. All right. But I mean that's just gonna be pretty much it. Okay, that's just gonna kind of prep me, get me ready. I don't really have a name for this tea. I guess I could call it my spiritual hygiene tea, but I have other teas that are for like light workers and people who do energy work. So, I mean, Fruit Loop. Okay, so actually, I'm going to actually make this a tea, and I'm going to name it Fruit Loops. I don't understand why Fruit Loops, but it will come to me later. So I love collecting jars. So to sweeten, I don't need too much to sweeten it. Well, I probably do now since I put the lime in there. But I ran out of honey. All of my honey is gone. Okay, so I'm going to use my sugar. So I love these jars. I love collecting glass jars, okay? I love recycling. These glass jars come in handy. I have all of my herbs in glass jars. I put my fresh herbs. Oh, fresh herbs. If you put your fresh herbs in jars and put them in the refrigerator, they last so much longer. Oh, that's the best. That's the best. That's the best remedy ever. Okay. So sometimes when it's leftover food or something like that, like sometimes I'll jar it up too. Okay, but I'm just gonna go over here. I'm just gonna put my sugar in here. So this is raw cane sugar. Okay, I don't usually use too much, just enough to give it a little poof, a little taste, but not too much. I don't need too much of a taste. Because, I mean, I know what the herbs are going to do for me, and that's all I really care about, you know. I feel like I should take time out. It's weird because, when it comes to eating, there are things that I really don't like eating, but it's purposeful for my body, for when I'm going through something. So, I'll eat it, but I don't know. I'm very uptight, and I can be very strict about a lot of things, especially when it comes to my health, when it comes to me, about how I want to do things and what I want to do. But all of that uptightness, all of that strictness, it kind of stresses me out sometimes too, because there are times to where I really just want to relax, I have a problem. I don't consider it to be a problem, but sometimes I do. Too much of anything is not good for you. But it's kind of like, I have a little bit of problem when it comes to pleasure. you know I manifest. I'm a manifester. So pleasure is very important when it comes to manifestation. That's something in which that I learned over the years. So naturally, by nature, I'm a very uptight, serious person, you know. So in having to kind of shift into, accepting that my life is going to be more so manifested instead of driven, we'll say, instead of me chasing my life is going to be manifested. I had to accept that, so I've had to learn pleasure. I've had to learn how to loosen up. I've had to learn how to have fun. I've had to learn how to have more pleasure. Before, I was wild. Before I got into my self-discovery journey, I was wild. I'm not going to tell you how wild I was, but anyway. But anyway, it is what it is. All right, so we're done in the kitchen. Okay, so jumping into our next task. So that's me folding up the blow-up bed. So I sleep on a blow-up bed, and I live out of a suitcase. And that is something that a lot of people do not know. Okay, now my son has a pull-out bed under his bed, but he's a teenager. He needs his space. He needs his room. Okay, so when I moved in here, this is actually my son's father's house. So I kind of fell on hard times, and I really couldn't figure out what I wanted to do with my life. I was God just kind of took me on a different path. And I knew that I had to stay faithful to that path. So, I mean, unfortunately, that path is not a glamorous or glorious one of financial stability. So, I ended up moving in with my son's father and my son. Okay. So, I mean, there's really no adjustments for me. I don't have my own space. I don't have my own room. You understand what I'm saying? But I had decided that, I just kind of want to eliminate, or let's just say decrease the I just want to minimalize a couple of things in my life, okay? And my wardrobe is definitely one of them. Because I just I don't really have a desire for any more clothes. I have dresses. I have 3 dresses. I have like my regular shirts. You see that tie-dye shirt that I have on there. I have my underwear. I have a couple of sexy pieces for, when that time comes. And I mean, I have pants and I have shirts, and I just kind of feel like I have more than what I need. And I came up with this idea. I said, I want to downsize my wardrobe. I want to wear my dashikis and I want to wear my dashiki dresses. And I want that to be my wardrobe like every fucking day. I want to get about 12 of them and, just switch it off. Okay? So, I came up with that idea and I tried to move really fast on that idea. But I'm so glad that I decided to slow down because I realized, I'm just like, damn, I have so many clothes already. I have a couple of dress shirts and all that type of stuff. And, the clothes that I do have, I appreciate them. It's just that I don't have a desire for anything else, but when it comes to washing, I want to eliminate the amount of clothes in which that I'm washing. So if I can, just downsize and, just kind of stay a little more focused on a small portion of laundry, I'll be able to incorporate better time management as well as financial management too. I wash me and my son's clothes. He's a teenager, he's young. So, I mean, I don't want to interfere too much with that when it comes to him. So he has a shitload of clothes, okay? He loves clothes. He loves shoes. All right. So, I mean, and that's okay because that's him. And I also teach him how to wash his own clothes too. So I'm just like, I just want to eliminate things and I want to make life a little easier for myself too. You know what I'm saying? Because there are if I could walk around naked, then I fucking would, I feel sometimes very uncomfortable in clothes. Okay. Especially tight clothes. I like tight pants. Okay. But tights, not pants or jeans. I can't stand jeans. I get yeast infection from jeans and shorts. I'm not really a short girl. I'm not really a skirt girl. When I wear my dresses, I really like my dresses that, I like long dresses. Okay. So, I own about 3 pairs of shoes, 3 tennis shoes, one for working out, one for every day, and one for whenever I, go out or something. I have to be a little more presentable. Okay, so I mean, I guess, that I love the dashikis. It's light. I can wear something under it if I get too cold. I don't have to wear anything at all if I don't want to under it. I'm just like, this is fucking perfect. I feel like I can just move freely however I want to. And at the same time, it's kind of, it's feminine. So I'm not always, kind of looking masculine all the time, So I'm really grateful. I'm really grateful. I live a very grateful life. It's not necessarily a happy life, but I know how to create happiness for myself. Okay. But I live a very grateful life. who I need to be in this life is a strong person. Okay, so I mean, c'est la vie. You take the good with the bad. You practice gratitude. Everything will just fall in alignment for you. You'll find more optimism within your life when you practice more gratitude. Okay, so I live a life of what you would call like a humiliating life. So, I live in humility. Okay, which is why I'm a very humble person. And this is why, when people try to come up against me or they try to attack me, because I deal with a lot of people who are very materialistic. A lot of these people have way more than me, but I mean, these people are always trying to attack me. And they wonder why they never succeed and things backfire. Because you just don't know. So I'm giving you insight so you can get a little more understanding. People are threatened by the relationship that me and my son's father have, and it's just like, for one, we're not even involved with each other like that. It's a friendship, to where people in intimate and romantic relationships, which they should be grateful for, it's like they're always trying to come in between me and my son's father. And it's just like, you can't break up two people who are not together. So then people wonder why their relationships turn to shit when they try to interfere within the relationship with me and my son's father. What we have going on is very purposeful, and we have an understanding of that. So anytime that anybody tries to intervene with our purpose and what it is in which that we're doing, they experience the backlash of it. So, I just kind of want to clear some things up so, people could just stop damaging themselves out here. You understand what I'm saying? Okay. You see, this is why I got into mental, emotional, spiritual, physical wellness and well-being, because the mental capacity of human beings out here is really fucked up. Okay, with me having my son is on the spectrum of autism. I'm just like, you know what? This will be very supportive to him. I can help other people because people have shit so fucked up out here. And it's a dangerous game that they're playing, especially when they're dealing with me. And I know that a lot of people can't help it. It's because of the way in which that their minds are programmed. And then on top of that, people have been drinking for a long time. People have been smoking marijuana for a long time. All of that shit begins to really work on your brain over the years. So it's kind of like people, it's like we get worse as we get older. So I have found the antidote. I have found the anti-aging cream. Okay. So, I mean, this is why I dedicate my time to this lifestyle that I have. I don't consider myself to be Buddhist, but a lot of my practices, a lot of my beliefs are around Buddhism. But if you know anything about Buddhism, it's kind of like everything is Buddhism. I studied, I had a Buddhist mentor. You understand what I'm saying? And I was grateful that he came into my life, but at the same time, I just really wasn't ready, because I really don't like the structure of things. Who I am, my path is not necessarily to follow, it is to create. Okay? So, throughout my whole adulthood, dealing with, after I had my son, my life has been all about learning. Learning from different religions, unconventional religions, ascended master teachings. I've had many mentors. I've had many people come into my life, teach me things, show me things. There has been many times to where I have been learning things through my own experience. So the number one thing in which that I teach individuals is discovering their own self-teacher. Okay? So that's what I contribute to the world. And I incorporate many things within what I do, what I teach, and how I teach, to be able, to help people, mentally. Okay. Because I get very irritated because, a lot of people, they were born healthy, but they refuse to take care and appreciate their mental, emotional, spiritual, and physical wellness. Now, I'm not perfect when it comes to this. And I'm going to tell you, I watch a lot of ASMRs. And I love to watch big people eat. And I mean, I don't know, it's so satisfying to me. And no, I don't judge them, right? But in the comments, you have a lot of people judging these people, and a part of me understands where these people are coming from. I get it. People are saying things on so many different levels when it comes to their health, when it comes to their self-esteem and all this type of stuff. But at the end of the day, you're really not that person. You don't know what's in their head. I mean, when it comes to YouTube, you can make fucking 20 videos of ASMR and you can just walk away from your channel and it's gonna grow. You see? And then it's just like $20 of a heavy person pigging out. I mean, 20 videos of a heavy person, pigging out. I mean, that's nothing. You understand what I'm saying? Like, they may make those videos and then they may decide that they're going to take better care of themselves. Then what? You see what I'm saying? Like, being able to see all of the factors, whether it's past, present, or future. You understand what I'm saying? So, but I came to this realization, I want to downsize. If I could put everything in which that I own inside of a backpack, if I could do it that way, then I would. I've practiced it that way before. I've put myself in positions to be homeless, to be able to, I mean, it's part of the study. It's part of the journey. You understand what I'm saying? This is how I've learned certain things. This is how I know certain things. When you put yourself in a position that most people will not, you have a tendency to learn things that most people know nothing about. Okay? And I mean, we can all teach each other things. So, we can all learn. But, yeah, I just had to take this time out, because I'm a very humble person. My honesty and my strength and integrity, it intimidates people, and so they consider me to be arrogant. That is because you don't know confidence. All right.